All right, kids, here we go. Lesson 9, Level 6. Choose your own adventures. We are going to try to find duplicates in lists. So in the last lesson, we did some things with finding maximum and values and minimum values and rewriting the list backwards. So in this one, we just want to see if there are two values that are exactly alike. This is not a very efficient method we're going to use. We'll use the Forbes Global Companies. The idea is we're going to use two loops, an outer loop and an inner loop. I mean, it'll make sense, just not super efficient. So let's take a gander at our different kinds of classes here. So in the Forbes class, there's a private instance variable that takes an array of company data. The elements in this array are companies. If we go to companies, we see that the companies have a name as well as a year founded. So there's two bits of data that goes along with each company, a name and year founded. So every element in this company data, each element consists of two data values, the name and the year founded. We want to try to figure out if there are duplicates, like if there were two companies or more that were founded in the same year. Now, we need to create this array of companies. So we've done this a couple of times. Here's the constructor. And we pass the names file and the years file to this constructor. And the constructor calls a create companies method. And we set that output equal to company data. And we've seen this a couple times before. We use the file reader to set the names file to the names data array and the years file to the years data array. And then we have this empty tech company array. And the elements in this array will be companies, but right now it is empty, so each value is null. And then we loop through all of the indexes, and for each index we place a new company object in each element. So when I go to index 0, I'm going to put in a company that is Berkshire Hathaway, founded in 1939. And then I will go to the next index, which is JP Morgan Chase, founded in 2000. And I can see right here when I get to indexes 4 and 5, which are the 5th and 6th elements, there are two companies that were founded in the same year. So we should get a true back. But just a reminder how they do these things over and over again. So what we are interested in is in the Forbes Java tab, we want to write the check for duplicates method. And we want it to return true if any companies in the company data were founded in the same year, otherwise return false. So here we are. And so we are going to use an outer loop and an inner loop. So I'm going to go for int. The outer loop is going to start at 0, and the outer loop will always be less than the length of the company data array. So it's always going to be less than company data dot length, curly brace, and then I do another for loop, for int inner equals. Now this is not going to start at 0. This is going to start at the value of the, I forgot to index the outer by 1 every time, or increment it. So this is going to start with 1 more than what the outer is. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take the index 0 and compare it to all the other elements in the array. And then I'm going to go to index 1 and compare that to index 2, 3, 4, and so on. And then index 2 and compare that to 3, 4, 5, and so on. And so I think I might want this to be -1. I don't think I want to go all the way up till the end because we might get an error when we do this one. So I want this to be the outer plus 1, and I want inner to be less than the company data dot length. I think I spelled length wrong. And then I want to increment the outer, or increment the inner every time. So the outer starts at 0, and I'm going to compare every other element in the array to that one to see if there is a duplicate. So so I need to get the year. My guess is there is a get year founded. So I'm going to grab that puppy and copy it. So if company data dot get year founded, I need to go company data outer. So get year founded, then equal, so that is equal company data inner dot get year founded. If those two are ever equal, I want to return true. Else, I'm going to return false. And so what I need to do next is I need to go, now there could be some spelling errors up here. I'm sure they're going to come out when we do this, but let's go to the Forbes runner and let's call the check for duplicates and print the results. So I'm going to go system.out.println, and I want to print, it's called companies dot check for duplicates. Check for duplicates. So this is going to print out all the companies. My guess is going to print out there. If we went and looked at the toString method, is there a toString method here? There is. It's going to print the company, the organization, and a new line. Now the organization is probably going to be this. It's the company data, so it's going to print out this toString. So it's going to be the company name, founded in year. So I'm going to get a whole bunch of companies founded in years listed out. And then I'll either get a true or a false here at the end to tell me if they checked for duplicates or not. So let's run this puppy, see what happens. Leave the worker, won't work. And I knew it was going to be true. It would be cool to maybe return that year as well. I would love to kind of know more about that. But all I know right now, it did return true. Let's run the test and see if the test works out okay. And it did, so we crushed that one. Finding duplicates in a list. That requires 2 loops, an outer loop and an inner loop.